like before. It's a better place I've ever seen. Well, I ain't been since 2016. So just give me a minute, wait and see what becomes of you and me. 'Cause I get tired of walking alone. With you I feel at home. I ain't got no home. Let's drag it out some more, yeah. Killing time, it's hard enough for me to say. I swear I'm killing time. It's hard enough for me to say. I swear it's still hard time. It's hard enough for me to say. I swear it's still hard time. It's hard enough for me to say. Well, I can feel it in the winter, the cracks in the sky. Well, I just little down here wondering why, you left me alone. Oh, what's that? The rain and the smile you can have. It's like a fell to the ground about. And that's a fact. Yeah. It's hard enough for me to say. I swear I'm fine 25 hours a day. Amazed that I won't take for anything. Yes, I am who I am, and you are you. Killing time, it's hard enough for me to say. I swear.
Boom, here we go, here we go, here we go. We have a big, ooh, that's annoying me actually. We got a big game today. It's not as big as, I'd like it to be. I'd like it to be, a title deciding game. But unfortunately, we're not in a position to be playing any title deciding games. But this is a big game because Liverpool aren't in the best form, City aren't in the best form. And we haven't won at Anfield since, 2021? And we haven't won at Anfield with fans in the stadium since the year I was born, which is, it really is something. It really is something. And hopefully, we can, put that poor record to bed. There's not really much to sort of play for other than, trying to prolong, not Liverpool, Arsenal winning the Premier League. Obviously, I thought we had a decent first half. Against Newcastle midweek. There were lots of positives to take from that. But, the second half wasn't great. I wasn't impressed with our performance last weekend. So I'm not extremely optimistic that we're going to put in a good performance today. There's, definitely so a lot of improvement that could be made to the way we play, to the players that we play. And stuff like that. But, I'll try and be as positive for this game as possible, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. We've learned that from a lot of the watch-alongs I've done for City games. Literally anything can happen, whether you like that or not, really. But I'm hoping for a big performance today. I'm relatively happy with the starting 11, although I would probably prefer to see Reinders instead of Bernardo Silva. But that's something that I'm going to say every week, because you guys know how I feel about Bernardo Silva, and you know how I feel about Tijani Reinders. But other than that, Marmoush, Semenyo, Haaland, I think that's definitely is a front three that can do a lot of damage. Rodri and O'Reilly in midfield's very strong. We've got two very attacking fullbacks. We've got two competent defenders, and we have a world-class goalkeeper. So, the only issue I really probably do have is probably Bernardo Silva playing ahead of Reinders. But again, he's our captain. Of course, he's going to play the game, like the away game to Liverpool at Anfield. That's just a no-brainer. But, guys, let me know if you've got any issues with today's starting 11, because I've seen a lot of people say that we are lacking a lot of creativity, and that's kind of just sort of the thing that I've sort of picked up on there. But at the same time, Liverpool don't have that physical of a midfield. They have quite technical midfield. Other than Gravenberch, they're not that strong in the midfield. So if we can just try overpower them, I think we can have a lot of sort of success today. If I just quickly go through the Liverpool starting 11 actually before we sort of go anywhere. Obviously, they're playing Alisson in goal, Szoboszlai at right back with Ibrahima Konate, Van Dijk and Milos Kerkez at the back. Then Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah, Wirtz, Gakpo and Ekitike. Obviously, we know how good Ekitike is. He's been one of the best centre-forwards in the league this season, been one of the best signings of the season so far. We know how good Mohamed Salah can be. We know the issues that Mohamed Salah can cause. Us. 1 moment. Let me just 2 seconds. Let me just check the audio, because I don't know how. No, that's fine. That is fine. Sorry, I was just checking, making sure the audio was all well and good. It is. We know the issues Mohamed Salah can cause us when he's at his best, and he 9 times out of 10 against City is at his best, especially at Anfield. Obviously, Szoboszlai is a quality player. Whether he's going to get really that license to create as many chances from right back is to be decided. Obviously, he's going to be delighted at the fact that Jeremy Doku's not fit to even appear in today's matchday squad. He's going to be delighted at that. Obviously, we saw what all of the issues that he caused Conor Bradley in the sort of reverse fixture against City at Anfield at the Etihad. He'll be delighted to see. I'm not saying Marmoush isn't sort of as good out wide, but he's not going to stretch the play, and he's not going to hug the touchline as much as Jeremy Doku is. He's going to be looking to more cause Konate problems than Szoboszlai, if anything. But I do think our front three can cause Liverpool's shaky backline a lot of problems. I just kind of fear for how we're actually going to create any chances through the midfield with the sort of lack of creative midfielder in there. Foden, he's not really been in his creative bag recently, so it'd be unfair of me to say that he should be starting ahead of Bernardo Silva to add creativity, because he's just been null and void in the creative department so far in 2026. So again, like I said, it would be Reinders playing in there, and I do get a lot of stick for saying that I think Tijani Reinders is probably our best midfielder when it comes to playing attacking football, but I don't really mind that, because it is the truth. People just hold Reinders to an unrealistic standard that he's never ever going to reach while playing for Manchester City. We're judging players on our team now whether they'd be good enough to get into 17, 18, 19, 22, 23 City, which is fine. You should always hold those high standards, and you shouldn't really let your standards slip too much. But in the here and now, is Reinders good enough to play for Manchester City? Yes. Is he our best creative midfielder? Yes. Should we be putting more faith in him? Yes. And that's just kind of the sort of end of it for me. So I am kind of looking forward to today's game. Hopefully we can put in a good performance. It's going to be a mid-off, if I'm honest. This game has mid-off written all over it. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I'm just hoping to see some big performances, and just like, even if we lose, right? Even if we go out and lose this game, I would like us to put in like a performance that's not absolutely shambolic, right? That's kind of where I stand. That is an absolute belter of a bet. I'm going to put that on real quick. Now let me actually just slap £10 on this bet, because that is going straight on. I don't even care. 2 seconds. That we're so back. We're actually going to be so back when this money lands in my bank account. Now we're actually so back. When this bet lands, which I am 100% convinced this bet is going to land, right? So we need Rodri to be booked, we need Konate to be booked, and we need McAllister to be booked, and I will be getting myself 810 Great British pounds, and I'm telling you, that bet's coming in today, right? That bet's coming in today. You know, I can't guarantee that City are going to win. I can't guarantee City are going to play good, but I can guarantee that Rodri, Konate and McAllister are all going to get booked, and I am going to get myself a nice chunk of change in my bank account at the end of this stream, right? That's it. But you know, it's a big game in a big run of fixtures that, you know, like I've said, I kind of wish they meant a bit more. I really do. I think it's quite disappointing that they don't mean as much. Obviously, we've literally lost, 6 of Pep Guardiola's games at Anfield. I think we've picked up 3 draws in that time and 1 win, which, you know, is not a good record. It's not a good record at all. But if there's going to be any time that we go and get a win at Anfield, it is today. It is today. And it just means we need big performances. I'm looking at Haaland to put an end to this horrid run of form that he's in. I'm looking to him to sort of put this horrid run of form to an end. I'm looking for Bernardo to put in a proper captain's performance. And I made an interesting point on Twitter the other day, and I don't know if anyone's really going to agree with this, but I think Rodri plays better than Nico Gonzalez when playing in the holding midfield role. But I think we play as a better team if we have Nico in there instead of Rodri, and I don't know how people feel about that. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know if that's not a hot take. That Rodri will put in a better performance, a better individual performance than Nico, but City will play like a better team when we have Nico in the team. And I don't know how people feel about that. I know there's a lot of discourse around the fact that we play better when we don't have Haaland in the team. That's not 100% an idea I 100% subscribe to. I think that it's that one's the jury's still out on, but I do 100% feel like we play a better team. We play like a better team and a better team performance when Rodri is not in the team, but Rodri plays better than Nico or than O'Reilly in that position when it comes to sort of but you know, I hopefully we can, you know, dispel that myth, so you will. And Rodri come in and put in a good performance, with the team putting in a good performance, and Haaland also putting in a good performance as well. You know, like these narratives that we spin as fans, you know, like we don't really kind of want to blindly sort of believe these agendas that we kind of set for ourselves. Like we always want to be proven wrong. I don't know many people that are disingenuous in their arguments when it comes to players, saying that, like, you know, I don't know many people that sort of lie on a player's name and will continue an agenda when it's sort of not needed to be sort of pressed, just out of sheer hatred of a player. Like, you know, there's players that I'm not a big fan of, but I will come out and applaud when they have a good game. Bernardo Silva, he's had a few good games this season, and I'll come out and make that point. You know, on the rare chance that Kyle Walker would have a good game in his last 2 seasons at the club, I would go out and say that, right? You know, there's not a player that I blindly have an agenda against, or I blindly praise no matter what. Like, you know, the prime example is Foden. Like I always say, if Foden does not have any fans on this earth, that means I have died, right? But he's not above criticism, and he is probably the player I criticise the most in the City team right now. I think he is the one that gets the most criticism from me, because I know he can perform a lot better than this. And it's not like Bernardo Silva, where Bernardo Silva is quite clearly past it, right? Foden should not be past it. Foden should be nowhere near past it. Foden is still good enough to play at this level, still good enough to compete with the intensity of the Premier League. He is just either choosing not to, or he is not putting in the effort that is needed for him to reach those heights again, or that Pep's not coaching him to play in the correct way that plays to his strengths. And I'm kind of more leaning to the fact that it's the third option that I stated, that I think that Pep doesn't really sort of allow him to play to his strengths. You know, I've noticed at the start of 2026, he doesn't really pick up the ball on the edge of the box and try shoot and try go for goal as much as, you know, you'd see him do in previous seasons, or even at the end of 2025, where he was chipping in with goals here, there and everywhere by just being a danger man on the edge of the box and just kind of being a sharpshooter from that sort of edge of the box area. He's not really doing that anymore. You know, I'm not seeing Foden looking up and trying to take a shot. It's pass sideways, pass sideways, pass sideways, pass sideways. But that's not to say that there are technical things and individual things that he's not doing correctly as well. I think his first touch in the past few weeks has not been good enough, and his decision making has not been good enough as well. But I do also think that it's like part him being in bad form and part Pep sort of wanting him to do something that doesn't really kind of fit his play style, if that makes sense. But you know, it will be interesting. It will be interesting. And hopefully we get off to a good start, right? Like, you know, you can always be like, want your team to get off to a good start and sort of hope your team get off to a good start. But I feel like with City now, as much as I always want us to start well, start positive, I care more about how we end the game. And that sounds really stupid, because obviously you want to end the game winning, right? That makes sense. But even games like Newcastle midweek, for example, I cared more about how we ended that game than how we started that game. Because yes, we started that game really well. We scored 3 goals in the first half, and we barely gave Newcastle a sniff, and we kind of looked like we were going to score every time we went forward. We then get into that second half, and we're just giving up chance after chance after chance, easy chance after easy chance after easy chance, and we're not really creating anything going forward. Yes, we still win the game, but that's the exact same thing we did against Spurs, and we weren't so lucky against Spurs, whether you think Solanke's goal should have been disallowed or not. So it's like, all well and good us coming out and scoring 2 goals in 12 minutes, 3 goals in 20 minutes, you know, starting off the game really strong. We can do that all we want, and you know, we'll lap that up as fans. But this team clearly does not have the sort of capability or the mentality to see out a win. We don't know how to do that. We don't actually know how to manage a game anymore, which is quite concerning, because if you were ever to sort of praise Pep City team on anything, it was the professional manner that they would be able to see out games from winning positions. You know, we take the skin out of the game, we take the sting out of the game, and we just sort of knock the ball around, sort of wear down the other team, make them sort of realise, oh, we don't really have a chance in this game, and then we take the ball to the corner, right? We wouldn't really give up possession really stupidly, and we'd make sure that we're always sort of making the sensible passes. But now we don't really do that, and we're sort of very on edge when it comes to sort of passing the ball around the back. Yeah, I do apologise. I'm actually really ill at the moment. I don't know if you could tell that from just my voice and how like sort of bunged up my nose is, and you can tell that from like how it pronounces some words and stuff. You know, I was actually going to cancel today's stream because I didn't think I was going to be able to get through it, but then I just kind of firmed it, and I was like, you know what, the show must go on. So I am here because, you know, either way, even if I wasn't streaming, I'd still be watching the game. So it's like, I might as well just like put the stream on it. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's just pretty easy to do that. But yeah, you know, hopefully though, big performance today, huge performance today. That's all that's needed. That is all that is needed. Big Haaland performance, hopefully. I'm actually in need. I've never been in need of anything as much in my life as how I need this Haaland, like, sort of poor run of form to be put to an end. Because, you know, there's a lot of criticism on Haaland's sort of name, and don't get me wrong, a lot of it is justified because he isn't playing well at the moment, but some of it is very disingenuous, and we're acting like this player can't play football, and we're acting like he doesn't have 20 goals in the Premier League. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, some of the criticism against him is very much justified, and it will be criticisms that I'd levy towards him as well, but some of it is just very disingenuous and very hyperbolic, and acting like we have a Sunday League player up top, which is a narrative that we've been trying to dispel from rival fans for years. So me more than anyone, I want Haaland to sort of end this poor run of form, and hopefully today's the day. You know, on the big stage, at a ground that we struggle with performing at on plenty of occasions. Today is the day to put the Anfield curse to bed, because, you know, again, like I said, although we won there in 2021, doesn't really count when the sort of famous Anfield atmosphere wasn't there. So, you know, to put it to bed in a proper match where you know the stadium's full, you know, that would mean a lot. It would definitely, especially when we're at a point in the season where we kind of need to be taking the sort of small things from games and the small W's from games, knowing that, like, the league, the title for the second season in a row is completely out of, you know, sort of out of our grasp. We need to focus on the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the Champions League, and just the small victories, you know, in the small victories and things like this. You know, it would have been brilliant if we were able to hang on last weekend and get a win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, you know, ground that we've always struggled at, and then come into Anfield and get a win here again today. That would have been exceptional in any season, let alone a season where we're performing at such a low standard. So yeah, to come to a ground that we couldn't even win at, sort of in our best seasons, when we're playing our best football, when we're achieving things that have never been achieved before, I think it would be, you know, a huge mental win if we go out and win at this ground in the sort of form that we're in at the moment. But, you know, that's just I guess that's just kind of like me just being sort of trying to spin some optimism onto this game, and just trying to put some meaning in some of these games that now kind of feel like they're meaningless because we're not chasing the Premier League, right? Because again, for City in the current day, in the modern day, right, no matter where we've been before or where we're going to be in the future, if we're talking about in just the last decade, it is very, very rare for City to be in this position 2 seasons in a row where we're not going to win the title, right? Which, you know, is great on paper. When you actually listen to what I've just said, that is something that is amazing. The fact that in a decade, like, we've only ever went without winning the title 1 year, right? That's great. But, and it's like, I don't want to be too harsh on Pep and the players, because some of these players that are still in the squad have given me some of the best memories of my life. But it's about sort of trying to maintain a standard. And it's not if, like, we're losing titles the way Liverpool and Arsenal were losing titles to us, where we're there and thereabouts, but we're just getting pipped at the last second. I think what's disappointing about last season and this season is the fact that we're not there. Like, we're nowhere near there. Although at points this season we've been very, very close to overtaking at the top of the table, we're never there. And last season we weren't really there at all. After really like September time. And I think that's kind of what's the most annoying. It's like we're not even really competing anymore. We're not in title races. We're in title races based on name and reputation alone, rather than the performances we're putting in on the pitch. Because everyone will talk about the title race this season. It'll be like, oh well, City are going to catch Arsenal because it is Manchester City. We are in the title race based on reputation and not the performances alone. And I guess that may even sort of seep into the performances of the players on the pitch when they're hearing stuff like, oh well, don't worry, City will go on this run because they just go on that run. The players are going to hear that, and that might even seep into them just being sort of very complacent and being like, oh well, it doesn't matter if we win. It doesn't matter if we win today because we'll just start the run next week. Oh no, it doesn't matter that we've now lost this game because we'll just start our magic run next week. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a huge detriment to us, more than it is a compliment to us to sort of put us into these title races or put us into favourites for the Champions League just off reputation alone. And the prime example of that is for some reason we were always favourites to win the Champions League. We were always favourites to win the Champions League. But did we ever win the Champions League? Once. In the whole 6, maybe 7 years that we were always favourites to win the Champions League, going into the start of the season and going into the start of the Champions League, we won it once. Do you know, it's kind of one of those things, it either puts unneeded pressure on a group of players, or it instills false confidence into players, and neither of them are really a sort of good thing when you look at it, you know what I mean? But enough of that. We'll focus on the game at hand. We're getting ready to kick off. Kickoff's in 3 minutes now, and some of our players look locked in. Haaland looks locked in. Hopefully we can, again, like I said, put this poor run of form to bed. Obviously we're going through the lineups again now. We've got Liverpool's, which is I think Alisson in goal, Szoboszlai right back, Ibrahima Konate, Van Dijk, and Milos Kerkez. Which Kerkez could have a hard time against Semenyo. We saw that in the opening game of the season at Anfield. Obviously they got Gravenberch and McAllister in the pivot, Salah, Vert, and Gakpo in behind Hugo Ekitike. And again, I'm not really worried about Gakpo that too tough. I don't think, and this will probably come back to bite me, but I don't think Gakpo is that dangerous. But when you look at sort of the other three, they all have the ability to sort of ruin our day, especially Ekitike and Salah. Then you come into the City lineup, which I obviously have on screen. Donnarumma in goal, Nunes, Kusanov, Gehi, and Aït-Nouri, the sort of backline you'd expect to have. Aït-Nouri's been very, very good as of recent. We've got Rodri in the holding midfield position, with Semenyo, Bernardo Silva, O'Reilly and Marmoush, and then Erling Haaland up top by himself. But I can imagine it's not actually going to line up like that, and it's going to line up more of a sort of 4-3-3 than this 4-1-4-1 formation that Sky have put out in. I can imagine it will be more of a 4-3-3. Especially, I couldn't imagine O'Reilly really playing that high up. I can imagine it's kind of a double pivot of him and Rodri with Bernardo sat in front of them. Which would I say that's ideal? Would I say that's what I'm wanting to watch? Probably not. No, probably not. But hey ho, you get what you're given, and hopefully we could put in a good performance. But Blonde Ekitike is already scaring me, so this could be a long day. Is Sky Sports actually letting me be on time for this game? Let me quickly refresh just to make sure that we're all up to date. Yeah, we're good. Need a huge performance, man, though. Huge performance is needed today. Huge performance. I'm talking huge is what we need for the boys. I'm from my voice, because I actually don't know if my voice is going to be able to cope with a full 90, man. Especially if I get stressed. This could be a long day. It's going to be a very, very long day. But hopefully it's not. But Marmoush is going to get us underway at Anfield for a huge game. This has been a very, very big game in previous years, and it doesn't quite have the sort of stakes that it has in previous years, but it's still a big game nonetheless. And hopefully we can put in a very, very, very tidy performance. Gehi now. He passes it back to Donnarumma. Wirtz is the only one pressing. He's pressing up on his own. Kind of pretty easy for Donnarumma to get that one out to Rodri. Now it's Kusanov. He's closed down by Ekitike, but it goes out for the City throw. And again, it's about just being comfortable and confident at the back. That's the one thing that I think we've lacked. Sort of last season and this season, we're just not confident in the back, which I don't really get why, because it's a lot of the same players that's poor from Semenyo to concede that throw in. You know, it's a lot of the same players that have put in very, very comfortable and commanding defensive performances for City. So I don't really get where that sort of issues come from. But then again, it's always kind of been an issue under Pep. Even in our best seasons, you look at Otamendi and Stones having a few blunders, even when we were like, you know, getting 100 points, 90 points, etc. We got Marmoush now running down the channel. Konate gets to the ball before him and bundles him to the floor, and he can calmly go back to Alisson. Alisson then chips it forward. Is going to be intercepted by Aït-Nouri, and that falls to Bernardo Silva. He's got Haaland and Marmoush ahead of him, and he plays through Erling Haaland, and there's Erling Haaland! Oh, and it's a big save by Alisson, and then Kerkez does really well to hold off Haaland and get it clear. I thought that was going to be it. 1.5 minutes into this game, I thought we were about to go 1-0 up. I tell you what, Bernardo Silva does well. Bernardo Silva does really well here to hold the ball, and then slide it through to Haaland. It's a good run from Haaland. And Alisson and Kerkez sort of kind of match that and do really well to prevent it from going into the back of the Liverpool net. Well, we got McAllister now. He goes back to Van Dijk. Now McAllister again. And now Milos Kerkez. Kerkez back to Van Dijk. And then he lofts it forward to Salah. He brings it down nicely under not really too much pressure from Aït-Nouri. Then it's back to Szoboszlai and then back to Konate. Takes a bit of a heavy touch, but is able to sort of clear his lines before O'Reilly can close in on him. Now it's Gakpo. Is that a throw-in? Yeah, we see this again. It's a brilliant pass from Bernardo Silva. I'll give him that. I think the finish from Haaland could definitely be a lot better. He's tried to roll it under Alisson as he's coming out. Actually, is it a poor shot or is it a really good recovery run there from Kerkez? Marmoush. He then turns, but he's dealt with by Szoboszlai and back to Konate. Now Alisson. Now Virgil van Dijk. You know, we haven't started too bad. I know it's only 3 minutes, and you know a lot can happen still, even in this first half. But we haven't started horrendously. You know, I've seen worse start to football matches from Manchester City. Don't get me wrong. Where's what I'm looking for? I don't know. I've lost my AirPods case. This is kind of dark. Unless it's in my pocket and I'm just an idiot. But I don't know. Here's Rodri. He goes back to Kusanov. And now it's Mateus Nunes. Kusanov. Donnarumma. Guéhi. He flings it out to Kusanov, who just about keeps it in play. I think. Yeah, he keeps that in play. Just about. And he's lucky Ekitike didn't react to that quick, or else we could have been in a bit of trouble there. And you know what, tell you what, this pass around the back's not filling me with much confidence, because this time Kusanov does get pressed by by Ekitike, who then puts a ball across the box. It's dealt with originally by Bernardo Silva, and then Aït-Nouri can prevent it for the corner. But tell you what, around the back we have not been very convincing. But here comes Nico O'Reilly. He then tries to find Marmoush, but it's intercepted by McAllister, and then cleared by Van Dijk, only as far as Marmoush. Here's Omar Marmoush. Inside to Semenyo. Ooh, the less said about that Semenyo shot, the better. And now Yudi, my boy, it is big game, huge game. Huge game. I don't know if you checked the Snap group chat though. Check the group chat, and I put the bet that I'm rocking with today in there. Szoboszlai goes to switch it to Kerkez. Kerkez brings it down. And then motors past Nunes. Then takes a touch inside and plays it through to Ekitike. But luckily Guéhi is there to recover. Now it's O'Reilly. Holds up Gravenberch. Breezes past Gravenberch. And then goes past Szoboszlai. And then is brought down by Szoboszlai. And the ref gives a free kick to Liverpool. Excuse me? O'Reilly's... Bro, I know, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, especially, like, from the City point of view, we've been awful at the back. like on the ball especially. But I don't understand how O'Reilly's committed the foul there. Like, let's be so honest. Or did he say play on? I'm not really too sure. I kind of looked at chat and I just saw. I was convinced that was a foul to City, but you know, if we're just gonna, you know what I'm trying to say. Alisson, he goes forward to Gakpo. His pass to Ekitike is intercepted by Semenyo. Then he goes back to Donnarumma. It's been an interesting 6 minutes at the opening 6 minutes at Anfield, man. I'll give you that. Out to Ryan Aït-Nouri. He takes worrying first touch, but he's able to sort of keep on top of it. Bernardo Silva, Mark Guéhi. Again, sort of, there's no real movement in the City midfield, and I think it's because Bernardo Silva's dropped into the sort of centre half position, so there's no one for Rodri or Guéhi to pass forward to when they pick up the ball because Bernardo Silva sat so deep. Guéhi just launches it forward to Marmoush, who's being fouled by Konate. No way! Now you're actually having a giggle. The less I say about that, the better. Because that's a diabolical decision. I'm not even going to cap. That's actually diabolical. Aït-Nouri wins the ball off Salah and then he can motor forward. And then is caught by Gravenberch, and is that not a free kick? That's not a foul. How is that not a foul? Then it's going to be out for a Liverpool throw-in. It's taken quickly, and City just about deal with the Liverpool attack. For now anyway, because Gravenberch, but he just flicks it straight into Rodri, and now he's got Marmoush ahead of him. It's a poor pass from Rodri, if I'm honest, and kind of takes all of the speed out of the attack. Oh yeah, mate, that's true, but like, nah, because like I don't even. I just feel like I'm in for some dark refereeing decisions. Like, I've seen some dark refereeing decisions over the past 2 weeks, but I feel like I'm gonna see some diabolical calls being given. Is that finally a foul? Are we finally given a foul? Finally, after Konate just fully basically grabs Marmoush around the neck, and we finally get a foul. So, from what I've seen from this, the barrier for it to be a foul is anything higher than GBH, and it will be given as a foul. Anything lower than GBH, and it's play on, is what I've seen here. That's if it's committed by the team in red, anyway. Well, Bernardo Silva on the free kick. I'm really not too sure what the plan is from here. Especially with Marmoush in the box. If Marmoush was on the edge of the box, I'd have a bit more of an idea. That's a cross in, and Kusanov is just absolutely just. I don't even really know what to say about that header. Nah, that's not even like an excuse. Because, like, you know, I know it gets a bit rough over there, but you know, when I was in Paris, I didn't even see like grabbing in the neck round like that. I just saw a lot of like, you know, that's a good header by Kusanov and another good one by Rodri, Nunes. Now back to Donnarumma. He dinks it out to Aït-Nouri, who's just about able to bring that down and keep it on. Is he going to go past Szoboszlai? No. Give that as a foul, I dare you. No way! Nah. You're not serious. Then he's never serious that's a foul. He is never, ever serious that's a foul. Nah. That's a foul. That. Okay. Okay. So Szoboszlai on the free kick regardless. It's never a foul though. It's just literally never a foul. Cross from Szoboszlai comes in. Headed by Salah. And then Donnarumma gets some contact on the punch, and then Ait Nouri punts it forward for Marmoush to chase. Kerkez gets there first and is able to just about clear it, and is Verts able to keep it in? No, so it will be a City throw-in. It's never a foul, man. I'm in disbelief that he's given that as a foul. Kusanov, Donnarumma. He launches it forward in hopes of finding Haaland. He does, but Semenyo is not quick enough to reach the ball before Kerkez. Rodri heads it forward to Semenyo, who knocks it down for Haaland, who plays it through for Omar Mamou. How have you? No, please show me that official's flag right now. He best be offside, because if he has missed that while being no way. Oh, thank God he's offside. Thank God he's offside, or else I was actually about to crash out. Thank God he was offside, or else the biggest crash out you've ever seen was about to be. Matty, I'm actually not too sure who the ref is. I'm going to try find that one out for you now. Who is the ref? It's not actually telling me. When I went to go look up who the ref is, because I don't even O'Reilly is fouled by Gravenberch. Finally. Telling me who the referee is. It is not. Ooh. Got Ait Nouri running forward now. Can't quite get the ball off to Marmoush, who's had to take it backwards. Rodri, Mark Guéhi, Marmoush inside to Rodri. Rodri takes one touch, and it's going to be a corner. This is what I'm saying, bro. Oh, it's Pawson. That's you're screwed. Mate, we're not watching this. If you think you're getting shafted at any point in this game after this, it came off Haaland. That's so peak. If you think you're getting shafted after watching the opening 15 minutes of this game, then I think me and you are watching two different games of football. That's what I'm saying, UD man. It's all it is just grappling everywhere on the pitch, bro. Oh, bad. Ball comes forward and it's going to be Donnarumma to claim it. Guéhi. Donnarumma. Again, no real movement from City players to get in a position that's, sort of there any way to sort of pick this ball up. Now Semenyo gets there before Kerkez, and is he going to breeze past Kerkez? Just about. He gets the crossing, but it's claimed by Alisson. Our backline's scaring you in a sense of they're good, or they're scaring you in the sense of Salah and Ekitike are about to have an absolute walk in the park. It's calm and composed by Kusanov and Guéhi. Now Silva, and now it's Semenyo. Haaland and Marmoush ahead of him, and they've both made the same run. And Semenyo's still not found either of them. That's brilliant. Absolutely superb. Guéhi in a bit of a foot race here with Salah. That was not overly convincing. Oh yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. We're moving a bit mad. But then again, Konate's like a red card waiting to happen, because he's just laying his hands on every single person that walks within like a 5 meter radius of him. Just like that, bro. He's all over him, bro. This Konate guy actually needs to relax. Let's have a little look at that, because Konate's absolutely all over Marmoush there. Whoa! Nah, you can't do that. I'm sorry. He's very lucky that that's not in the box, because that is a blatant foul. He's got nowhere near the ball. Nah. Konate's lost his mind. Like, he's actively not playing football. Like, I don't even know what to. I actually don't even know what to say about what he's just done there. Because he's very, very lucky that wasn't in the box. Very, very lucky. Because he's absolutely grappled him to the floor. Now it's Kusanov. Semenyo. Haaland. Semenyo ahead of him. He goes to Marmoush. Finds Marmoush. And Szoboszlai puts it out for a corner. That's good defended by Szoboszlai, to be fair. And that was a good pass from Haaland. I didn't really know wasn't expecting to pull that one out. Corner to come, to be taken by Omar Marmoush. Not like anything's good going to come from this, because it's a City corner, but, you know. You can always hope, man. You can always hope. Gahey looking for his first City goal. And what a place. What a place and what a moment to get your first City goal. Come on, Mark. Marmoush on the corner. It is Gahey that attacks it, to be fair, but Liverpool get it clear. Only as far as Rodri, who's being closed down by Wirtz, but he's able to hook it forward to Bernardo Silva, who then gets it inside to O'Reilly, and then back out to Bernardo. Back to Rodri. That's Mateus Nunes. Rodri. Semenyo. Nunes. He looks up for the switch, doesn't go for it, instead goes to Kusanov. Then back to Gahey, who wants to go out wide to Aït-Nouri, but that avenue's been closed rather quickly by Liverpool. Silva, Kusanov. Like, again, no one's finding any space, and then as soon as someone does find the space, like, the pass just isn't being played. That's a good ball out to O'Reilly and then to Aït-Nouri. Inside to Rodri, who turns, looks to find Haaland in behind, does launch it in behind. Van Dijk gets there first. And then Kerkez heads it into the middle for Gakpo, who looks to find Salah, but is intercepted by Rodri and then claimed by Aït-Nouri. Inside to not Nunes, O'Reilly even. Now it's Rodri. Forward to Aït-Nouri. He just about keeps the ball in play and then puts it through Szoboszlai's legs and kind of goes to ground a little too easily, or is that a free kick? Oh no, Fairs. You're not Fairs, man. Fairs. That's poor first touch. Does well to keep it in both times, and yeah, that is a foul actually, now that I see that back. So hopefully we can get another chance at goal here. I don't know who's going to be taking this one though. It's Bernardo Silva. Silva crosses it in. It's cleared by Gakpo. And now it's Salah, who's brought down by Bernardo Silva, but it's not been given as a foul. And now it's still Silva. Out to Aït-Nouri, who looks to cross it in, but is instantly has a sort of angle blocked. I'm going to move my monitor a little bit actually. There we are. Now it's Kusanov. Nunes. Now out to Semenyo. Cuts it back for Nunes. Now it's Rodri. Gahey. Aït-Nouri. Inside to O'Reilly. O'Reilly looks to shoot, doesn't shoot. That's Kusanov. Semenyo. Rodri. Gahey. Aït-Nouri and acres of space here, and he does find Aït-Nouri with an absolutely beautiful pass. He can now go one-on-one with Szoboszlai, but cuts it back to Gahey. Now it's Rodri. He goes to chip one into Marmoush. Marmoush brings it down, then takes it round to Bosley, then looks to go back inside, but goes back to Guéhi. Now Nori again. He looks up for the cross, blocked by Szoboszlai, but it'll be a City throw-in. Never a foul. Never ever a foul. Then again, I haven't actually seen it back. I just looked up. I saw it once, and I thought it was going to be given as a foul, but I obviously haven't seen it back. Ain't Nori. Beautiful. Haaland. Marmoush. Marmoush! Oh. Probably should have laid that one off to Semenyo, to be fair. But Ain't Nori does exceptionally well to get past the Bosley, and the cross is superb. Haaland cuts it back to Marmoush. Yeah, I'd probably lay that to Semenyo, but he takes the shot anyway, and it's so far wide of the target. Does come off Gravenberch though, so is that going to be a corner? It is, and it's taken short to Nunes, who then whips the cross in for Guéhi, and then his head is really tame and claimed by Alisson, who hits it long towards Gakpo, but it's headed forward by Kusanov. It's Nunes. Now Bernardo Silva. Now Rodri. Semenyo. O'Reilly. Now you don't need any possession, man. You don't no. We don't need that. Forward to Marmoush. Guéhi. Ain't Nori. No, wait, lads, am I seeing this correctly? Did I just see Salah track back and defend? No way have I just watched Salah track back and defend. What ultimate universe am I living in? That's a foul by Marmoush on Ekitike. Bro, I was about to say we're not really doing anything with that sort of possession, but that is kind of disingenuous to say because we have created a few chances. But we haven't taken them very well. I still do believe Haaland probably should have scored within the first minute, but hey yo. Konate. Szoboszlai. Turns and goes back to Konate, who's committed GBH at least 3 times already in this first 25 minutes. Tell you what, I would not want to watch Konate play every week. I can tell you that. Like, you know, oh, that's poor. Now it's Bernardo Silva. He darts into the Liverpool box. He's completely surrounded. Gets the cross across. Haaland does get there. Goes to cut it back to Semenyo. It is Semenyo. Semenyo shoots. Blocked by Kerkez, and it's a corner. Who even forced that error? Oh, that was poor from Szoboszlai. And again, Bernardo does very, very well in this tight gap. He gets cross. I think Van Dijk should definitely react to that a lot quicker than he does and shouldn't allow Haaland to get onto it. So Semenyo goes for the shot and Kerkez does well to block it, to be fair. Now we've got Bernardo Silva out to take the corner. Bernardo straight into the box, doesn't beat the first man. Bernardo Silva again. Oh, I can't even be. But what's the point, man? What's actually the point? Joe, mate, we're not beating anyone, right? That's all I'm saying. You're not watching what I'm watching right now. Now, there's no way I've just actually wasted like 10, 15 seconds of my life just to watch Bernardo do that. It's never been this over, man. It's never ever been this over. Like, I've seen it be over a few times, but it's never ever been this over. Especially now because Nunes is getting absolutely turned by Gakpo of all people. Like, if you're getting spun by Gakpo in 2026, we need to sort of reevaluate. There's Salah, and it's just about wide, and that will be a corner. Now, like, how are you? It's a beautiful ball by McAllister, to be fair. It's a poor defending between the pair of Guéhi and Ain't Nori to allow Salah that much space, but Guéhi does well to recover and see it out for the corner. Bro, you've got possession, bro. Oh no. Van Dijk bullet header. And it's over. Van Dijk bullet header right now, my day's ruined. Van Dijk recycling of possession, and my day's ruined. Gravenberch inside to Szoboszlai, who then goes to try find Van Dijk out on the wing, but it goes out for a City throw. I tell you what, I was correct in my pre-match sort of evaluation of this game. This is the definition of a mid-off that I'm watching right now. Does that come off Semenyo? I'm not convinced. I'm not overly convinced. Have Liverpool got another corner? Oh, we literally just had a throw in. How is it now turned into a corner? What's happened? What have I just missed? What have I just missed for it to somehow get to this point? Got another corner to Liverpool though. And from what I'm gathering in the situation, it's a needless corner to give away. So if we concede, I'm going to be absolutely fuming. Corner in by Szoboszlai. And it's just about punched away by Donnarumma. But still Szoboszlai. He goes for the second cross. This is deep to the back stick towards Konate. And oh, Donnarumma, have you lost your mind? Whoa! Whoa! It's a beautiful cross to the back stick by Szoboszlai. And yeah, Donnarumma's lost his marbles. He's very, very lucky that ball didn't dip any quicker, or Salah would have had the easiest goal of his life. Forward there by Donnarumma towards Marmoush, but it's dealt with by Konate. Then forward to Salah, who has the ball taken off him by Rodri, and now it's Bernardo Silva. Aït-Nouri. Forward towards Marmoush, intercepted by Szoboszlai, who's then fouled by O'Reilly. It's taken quickly, and now it's Gravenberch. Now Donnarumma's actually, I didn't like that. That was not enjoyable to watch. That wasn't really a bit of me, if I'm honest. Bro, you're asking why Salah shot. Can we not just question why Donnarumma did that? And then does O'Reilly win a throw-in out up there on the far side? I think so. No, it was a Liverpool throw-in. It's back to Konate. Aït-Nouri. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Fair enough. Is Aït-Nouri now down on the floor, or has he realised that he's not getting a foul and he's got back up? Because Liverpool coming forward with Gakpo here, and Aït-Nouri's just about got back in position. Gakpo's now just shielded Kerkez, and now Bernardo Silva's ran too far wide of the. Why did he do that? He literally just ran himself into traffic, thinking he's going to get himself some sort of insurance claim. Why? I should just. Guéhi, forward to Marmoush. Now Rodri. Now Semenyo. Now tries to find Haaland, and pass is a bit wayward, and it's dealt with by Konate. Now it's McAllister. Szoboszlai. Konate. Alisson. Konate. Goes out wide to Wirtz. Wirtz forward to Ekitike, who's got the better of Kusanov in the original foot race. Then he's greeted by Gahey in the box, who does enough to block the shot, and I think is giving it for a goal kick. I could have swore that was a corner, but Ekatike does well to originally get away from Kusanov. I mean, they're not exactly close, but still, to make up the... Kusanov was making up the ground regardless, and then he gets the shot. Oh, yeah, it probably does just go for a goal kick. Forward though by Donnarumma. Haaland gets beat in the air by Van Dijk. Now it's Szoboszlai. He knocks it down to Gakpo. It's got Ekatike out wide, but it goes back to McAllister. And then he tries to find Gakpo, but it's blocked, and then Kerkez tries to flick it back over, but it's dealt with by Nunes, who was fouled by Gakpo, and it's going to be a free kick. Can we get a stat of like how many times a Liverpool player's pulled a City player's shirt for like little to no reason, please? Is that a stat that anyone's like privy to or have we not got that? Do I not have the budget on this stream to be able to pull out stats like that? Forward by Donnarumma. Out to Nouri, who tries to knock it onto Marmoush, but Konate gets there first, and now it's Gravenberch. Out to Salah, and then inside to Florian Wirtz, who's got Ekatike inside, but Rodri gets there first. Pass it across to Donnarumma, then out to O'Reilly, who takes a poor touch. Now it's Liverpool again. They go back to Konate. Konate comes forward. And then back to McAllister, and then all the way back to Alisson Becker. And then he goes across to Van Dijk, who just takes an absolutely poor touch and goes out for a throw-in. Hey, the only reason Shirky's not on this pitch is because Pep has an absolute borderline romantic fascination with Bernardo Silva. That's all I'm saying, bro. Now it's Rodri. He hooks one into the box towards Marmoush, but then it's Haaland! And his shot straight at Alisson. It does well to get that shot off there. It's a good cross by Rodri. Now ball forward to Salah, but it rolls through to Donnarumma, who throws it out to Nouri, and so you can come forward again, because Nouri's got space to run into. 33 minutes on the clock. Still 0-0. It's back to Gahey. Gahey taking his time on the ball. No real pressure from the Liverpool front line. Then he looks to switch it out to Marmoush, who can't quite bring the ball down, and Szoboszlai see it out for a goal kick. Forward now, Nunes heads it into the middle. Semenyo beats Kerkez to the first ball, and then Kerkez is able to prevent Semenyo from getting to the second, and it will be a Liverpool throw-in. Konate, Alisson, forward. Gahey challenged by Ekatike, but he wins both of the aerial duels and knocks it down to O'Reilly, who then brings down Gravenberch. Is that but it's no foul, and it will be a free kick. But a throw-in, or is that a free kick? No, it's a free kick, for fuck's sake. I tell you what, City, we're absolutely hilarious in front of goal. What's going on here? What have I missed? Why is play just stopped 3 times there? Alright, we're back underway anyway. It's Rodri. Forward to Marmoush, who once again has Konate absolutely all over him. And is he finally going to get booked? No. Okay. So Konate can just put his hands wherever he wants, right? Okay, cool. This guy's actually lost his mind, bro. That's the 4th time he's done that and he's not been booked. Donnarumma's lost his mind. Right, yeah, this has not been an enjoyable game of football to watch in the slightest. Because Donnarumma, I don't know who smoked more before this game, Konate or Donnarumma, but this reminds me why you don't watch full sports games in 2026. Bro, this is dark. This is dark viewing from both sides because we've got Donnarumma just doing his best, like, Karius impression every single time he touches the ball, and then Konate's just grappling Marmoush every time he goes anywhere near him. He's just like he doesn't even like care about winning the ball. Got Nunez, he's brought down by Ekitike. You know, I'm liking to see how some of these fouls are actually being given as free kicks now. Rodri. Bernardo Silva. Nori. Gehi. O'Reilly. Rodri. O'Reilly. Nori. Rodri. Gehi. Rodri. Marmoush. Out to Nunez. Back out to Rodri. Inside to O'Reilly. And then out to Nori. Now Bernardo Silva with plenty of space and men running ahead of him. He goes to Marmoush. Back to Bernardo Silva. And that's absolutely terrible. Absolutely woeful. But Rodri does enough to win it back. Nunez flicks it on to Semenyo. Then he goes forward to Marmoush. Still Marmoush. This pass to Haaland just doesn't have enough on it and it's dealt with by Van Dijk. Now it's Ekitike. Nunez does well to slide in and win the ball. And then O'Reilly wins it off a poor first touch by Ekitike. And now Nunez can bring the ball forward for City. Bernardo Silva. Back inside to Nunez, who looks to stand up the cross. Doesn't. And then goes back to Bernardo Silva. Nunez, who then dinks it into the box for Bernardo Silva, who's completely missed the ball. I actually can't be bothered to watch him play football anymore. Can we sub Bernardo off now? Can we sub him off now? I can't watch Bernardo play football anymore. It's going to be a corner though, to be taken by Bernardo, who could hopefully redeem himself. You'd like to think anyway. Bernardo with a corner. Haaland knocks it on. It's dealt with by Konate, but Marmoush gets there first. Then he has to play it all the way back to Matheus Nunes, who then switches it out back to Bernardo Silva, who then takes an absolutely awful first touch, but Kirkes can't do enough to sort of capitalise on it, and it's still Bernardo Silva. He goes inside to Semenyo, who drops it back to Nunes. Rodri. Bernard Silva. Still Silva. Back to Rodri. Back to Bernardo Silva. Inside to Semenyo, who knocks it onto Rodri. Rodri aims to shoot. It's blocked by Van Dijk. And then O'Reilly wins it back. Now it's Haaland. Tackled by Konate. Now it's Gravenberch to try bring the ball forward to Liverpool. But he has the ball taken off of him by Nori and Marmoush. just puts it over. You know, that's a little better. You know what? That's a little better. That's a little better. It's a little bit better. It's really good stuff from Ait Nouri. And the shot, it's good technique. Good, very good technique from Marmoush, but just a little bit too much power on that one. Szoboszlai. Forward to Gravenberch. Takes a touch inside and is brought down by Marmoush, and it's going to be a free kick. And it's going to be a... Alright, so Marmoush is getting booked. Marmoush has been booked before Konate, ladies and gentlemen. Marmoush has been booked before Konate. That wasn't even a cynical foul either. Can't believe I've just watched Marmoush get booked before Konate. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Szoboszlai on the free kick. He whips it in towards Van Dijk. He knocks it down. Salah couldn't get there first. He believes he's been brought down in the box. See this again. Salah believes he's been brought down. Oh, Bernardo could be... I'm going to see a bit... I don't know if there's enough contact in that. I don't know. I don't know if there's enough in that. I can't say I'd personally give that as a penalty. Personally, I wouldn't. I'd say if he had hold of him for probably like 2 seconds longer, then I would probably give it, but not at that current. Donnarumma with a goal kick. He goes forward towards Bernardo Silva. He's beaten the air by Wirtz. Then Rodri knocks it back forward, and that's Haaland. He's beat to the ball by Van Dijk. And then Wirtz gets it out to Szoboszlai. Van Dijk's still on the floor. So Szoboszlai puts it out for a throw-in. Then Haaland goes... Semenyo goes over to get Van Dijk up off the floor. Oh, that... Yeah, that would hurt, to be fair, but... Alisson now. So we're in the final minute of normal time in the first half. Still 0-0 here at Anfield. Throw into Manchester City. That's Núñez. He throws it forward to O'Reilly, who knocks it down for Haaland, then has his touch intercepted by Wirtz, and then Konate can hit it forward to Ekitike. He's got Kusanov coming across, but Núñez gets out there first. Kusanov retreats back into the box. Ekitike looks to go across and get a cross in, but kind of slips on the ball, and then goes back to Kerkez. Then goes to play it inside to Ekitike, but Kusanov can see it out for a goal kick. Bro, the ball movement in the final third has been so poor, probably because every defender on the field holds waist like they're at Notting Hill. Bro, especially Konate is the biggest culprit for that, man. Like Gahey and Kusanov are just trying to get in a foot race with everyone. Van Dijk's again still doing his best to not defend, and then you've just got Konate that's just grabbing everybody up, bro. Konate moves like that one, like, overly trigger happy security guard, bro. at any like function you go to, you just got that one security guard that's like a little bit too eager to get it cracking, and that's Konate. Nunes inside to Semenyo, who then goes to O'Reilly, but it's poor, and Gravenberch pounces on it, and he goes back to Szoboszlai, who plays a searching ball forward for Ekitike, but that's intercepted by Gehi, and now it's Ait Nouri. He goes forward to Marmoush, and back to Ait Nouri, and back to Gehi. Bernardo Silva. Rodri, Bernardo Silva again, O'Reilly, back to Rodri, forward to Marmoush, who taps it off to Ait Nouri, and then back to Marmoush, and back to Rodri. He finds Semenyo, he's got time and space to turn and run towards goal, but he's touched a bit too heavy and Kirkes can get there first. Now it goes all the way through to Alisson, and this should probably end the first half. But Kirkes is going to try to bring the ball forward for Liverpool to get one last attack. He hits it forward, that pass is intercepted by Kusanov, and now it's Semenyo, Rodri, O'Reilly, out wide to Ait Nouri, and that's the first half over. Still Liverpool 0, City 0 to end the first half. Oh, what's happened there? I don't like that. There we are. And that was an interesting first half. You know what? That's the only. I think that's the only acceptable word I can use to describe that first 45 minutes. Was interesting, to say the least. I don't think there is much sort of more I can sort of use to describe that. Like, I'd say it's an open game. Like, it's not a boring game. Don't by any stretch of the imagination, I would not say that is a boring game of football. But the level of football that's on show is not very high. Like, that's all I'll say is the level of footballing ability I've seen from some of these players on the pitch has not been great. And some of the some of the defending has been questionable, very, very, very questionable. There are probably a few players that I would come to compliment at the end of this. I think O'Reilly. What about Gary said Silva is a footballer genius? Luckily, Matty, right? Luckily for me, I do not have commentary on, right? Luckily for me, I do not have... Where has my AirPods case actually gone? I'm trying to find it so I can put my AirPods on charge. But I actually don't know where it's gone. It's just fully disappeared. But luckily for me, I have the pleasure of getting to watch this game without Gary Neville's commentary. So I don't have to hear whatever bollocks he's trying to tell me about Bernardo Silva being good at football. Bernardo Silva was once good at football. Bernardo, I will concede the fact that Bernardo was once good. Where is his AirPods case gone, man? But yeah, Bernardo was once good at football. Those days have long passed. Should be at least in front of this stage. Didn't take our chances whilst dominating. Have allowed Liverpool to get back in the game. That's 100%. Well, that's 100% it. Like, I think Marmoush, whether he was onside or offside for his chance, that needs to go in the back of the net. Haaland's chance in the first 2 minutes of the game needs to go into the back of the net. There's been a few other chances that we haven't taken in this game. Konate is... I don't know how Konate's not been booked. I think the fact that Marmoush got booked before Konate is still baffling to me. He said his vision and ball knowledge is second to none. I think that pass forward to Haaland today is the first time I've seen Bernardo Silva play a pass forward in about 390 minutes. So I don't know what he's talking about when he says that, right? Now his ball knowledge, like his actual footballing IQ is high. Like, Bernardo reads the game very, very well. But does he play attacking football very, very well in the big year of 2026? I would say no. Personally, I would say no. Anyone can debate me on that, whether they think that Bernardo Silva plays high quality attacking football in the year of 2026, but I am inclined to say that is not true. I would have preferred to see Vinders play today. I don't think Bernardo's been like completely useless, but he's had a few moments where I just kind of question his decision making. Other than that, I don't think there's another City player that I think again, Haaland should have took his chance a bit better. Marmoush should have took his chance a bit better in the final third. But I think all round play, I think everyone's been quite good. But if I'm to sort of pick a City player that I think has played the best, I would probably say it's either Rodri or Aït-Nouri. I'd probably say I think Aït-Nouri's been absolutely fantastic on that left side, especially in the absence of Doku, where Marmoush is obviously going to sit more as like a left forward than an out and out winger and hug the touchline. I think Aït-Nouri's doing really well to stretch the pitch on that side. I think he's definitely playing really. Yeah, Matty, that's a sort of statement that people will assume you're a racist for. I think Semenyo's been okay. I think he could definitely do with getting a bit more involved in the actual box. I think Nunez has been good, but again, my standouts have probably been Rodri and Aït-Nouri. Yeah, Rodri and Aït-Nouri, but maybe O'Reilly as well. I think O'Reilly's been pretty decent. And then from a Liverpool perspective, I think Ekitiké's been good, although I feel like he's sort of occupying the channels a lot more than he probably should be. I think he should probably be attacking our back line. Again, I'm not complaining at that fact, but that's just sort of something that I just sort of picked up from the game. I think Szoboszlai's been decent going forward. I think Szoboszlai's been good going forward, not quite as good defensively, and I think Gravenberch has been okay, but there's not really many standout performances from this game. I think it's been a very, very poor game. Mate, I'm still in absolute just not. Oh, I think I know where it is. I think. Watch me walk over here now, and they'll be in my hoodie pocket. Oh wait, no way. They were in the pocket of my hoodie. No way. Yeah, Haaland needed to be scoring that first chance, man. Like, I don't know, not really too sure what's happened there, and that what's led him to not put that one in the back of the net. Mate, I'm caked up. I'm extremely caked up. That was a decent, like, anything for views, man. Well, I'll do basically anything for views. And the key word is basically, because if I say I'll do anything for views, then that just ropes me into to any sort of trouble. But if I say basically anything, it's okay. Konate does need to hurry up and get booked so I can actually make some progress on my bet. Oh yeah, another City player I think has been a tad bit poured out. I think about is Donnarumma's had some questionable moments, very questionable moments, especially that one where he's just parried it straight to Salah when coming out to claim an aerial ball. But yeah, it was a interesting first half. I think there are definitely things we need to improve defensively, but I think going forward we're keeping the ball very well. And then when we lose the ball, we're winning the ball back very well. We're sort of instantly winning the ball back and retrieving possession. I just think we need to do a lot better in the box at our end and at the other end as well. And we just need to start taking our chances, because we've got two people in the top 5 goal scorers in the Premier League this season up front, and we've got Marmoush, who was in like the top 5 of the Bundesliga scorers last year as well. Like, we've got people that can score goals. Like, why are we not scoring goals? Is that where I think it is? That is not where I think it is. No way, that video is not taken where I think it is. That's crazy. Yeah, nah, they haven't. They haven't. I mean, I think again, both of our, especially Kusanov, he's very sort of stuck in his way of how he wants to defend. He likes to be very physical, and he likes to sort of make up the ground on you, right? But I just feel like there's too many gaps in the way our back line's set up, because you've got Ain't Nori and Nunes who want to stay really wide, because they just want to pick up the ball out wide and go forward. And then you've got a huge gap between them and Kusanov, like Nunes and Kusanov, and then you've got a decent sized gap between Kusanov and Gehi, and then you've got quite a big gap between Gehi and Ain't Nori, which means there is space for players like Wirtz, Ekitike and Salah to occupy, because obviously we know that Gakpo is just going to stay hugging the flank anyway. But we need this. I'm still waiting on this Konate booking. I don't understand how. I'm still not really grasping how I've watched Omar Mamouche go and get booked before Konate. Like, it's not really calculating in my head of how we've got to that point, because it just doesn't. Well, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it just fundamentally does not make any sense. But because I've got a bet on Konate to get booked, he will somehow escape this game without a booking, despite the fact that he is just like gripsing up on Mamouche at every single opportunity possible for him to just, yeah. But you know, there's still 45 to go, and I think City have been the better team, so I'm a tad bit more optimistic going into the second half than I was coming into the game. But again, City in the second half is not very good. So like, I'm optimistic going in the second half, thinking we had a better half and better team in the first half. But as recent history shows, we are absolutely diabolical in the second half. So literally anything could happen here. Doku's not on the pitch, bro. Doku's not even in the squad. Now you've lost your mind, bro. Doku's not even in the squad, bro. Doku's injured. Like, he's not in the travelling matchday squad. You know, I won't mind seeing Reinders coming into this game off the bench. Trust me, if Doku was on the pitch, you'd know about it. But you know, I'm hoping for. Oh my. Bro, what's just happened? Nah, mate. There we go. He needs to take that 7 off. Yeah, you've lost it. You've lost your mind. Respectively, you've lost your mind. Do you know who? Did you even know who our last number 7 was? If you could tell me who our last number 7 was, I'll give you that point. But if you don't know who City's last number 7 was, then you can't comment. Come on, big second, huge. Like, I actually need the biggest second half performance I've ever seen in my entire life right now. Like I will get spiritual. I'll actually get spiritual on how much I need this second half performance to be absolutely huge. Like, I need it. I need it so badly. I've never needed anything more in my life. Our last number 7, bro. I will pull up Manchester City's last number 7 on screen right now, so for you to see this. Oh, if I could spell. You want to see City's last number 7? Wait. Let me actually get this image. Why is this image not loading, bro? I've literally like clicked on an image. No, okay. It's bugging out. Okay. Okay, it's not loading, but basically it was Chancellor, because the image just doesn't want to load apparently. But yeah, oh wait, no, it's loaded. But yeah, our last number 7 was João Cancelo. So if we were giving out the 7 to right backs, right, I feel like one of our strikers, it should be allowed it. Of course, he's not putting up any Raheem Sterling numbers, but you know, it is what it is. Now Liverpool get us back underway at Anfield for the second half, where Konate, who still hasn't been booked, launches the ball forward towards Ekitike, and then Guehi sees it out for a goal kick. No changes for either side though. So we start the second half the way we ended the first. Donnarumma goes long. Searching Marmoush, but Konate gets there first. Gravenberch knocks it on, and it's won back by City, just to be given up to Gakpo. Now it's Ekitike who plays it through to Gakpo. Kusanov gets a cross, but Gakpo cuts it back, and then it's Salah, but it's blocked by Nouri. Semenyo takes a loose touch, which is pounced upon by Kirkes, and now it's Gakpo, who then is dispossessed by Semenyo, who can try to bring the ball forward for City. He's got no real options forward, so he has to play a long looping ball over to Omar Marmoush, who, Alisson just about gets there first. That's a decent ball forward, to be fair, from Semenyo. I feel like Konate needs to check over his shoulder though. He's got absolutely no idea that Marmoush is there, but Alisson does just about enough, him and Szoboszlai, to stop Marmoush from being through on goal. Really, it's a poor pass forward, but Haaland wins it back just to give it up to. Is that a foul? That is a foul. And who's that going in the book? Who was that going in the book? So Virgil has now been booked before Konate, which again, I'm not complaining about that one, but more the point of, I don't know how Gakpo's not been booked. Yeah, that is probably a foul, yeah. Free kick to City. Van Dijk to go in the book for Liverpool. Bernardo Silva on the free kick. Nouri and acres of space out on the left. Haaland and Kusanov in the box. Bernardo Silva. Can you just hurry up and take this? Bernardo Silva knocks it into the box. It's dealt with by Gakpo. Then Marmoush tries to knock it out to Semenyo, but it's Kirkes that gets there first. And Wirtz has advanced ahead of him. It goes forward to Salah. It's headed forward by Bernardo Silva. And then knocked forward by O'Reilly. And now finds its way back to Konate. Szoboszlai. He gets closed down by O'Reilly, and then Konate goes all the way back to Alisson. Konate. Szoboszlai. Konate. Szoboszlai again. He's tackled by O'Reilly and it goes out for a throw-in. Yeah, again, Alisson and Szoboszlai both do really well to prevent Marmoush from getting a shot on goal here. Kirkes. He's got time on the ball. Goes to knock it around Semenyo, but can't quite get around the Ghanaian, and it goes to Nunes. Goes back across to Gehi. Gehi, oh, his pass to O'Reilly's sort of well overhit, and now it's Gravenberch who can come forward. He feels like he's been pulled back by O'Reilly, but no foul given. Now it's Marmoush. Oh no, Craig Paulson does call it back, and is he now going to give a foul? I'm a little baffled as to what's happened here. Yeah, that. Yeah. I mean, Gravenberch probably could have continued there, but you know, there's no complaints with that being given as a free kick. So Szoboszlai, he hits it off O'Reilly. It's another throw-in for Liverpool. Back to Konate. Nice Alisson. He goes into Gravenberch. He turns and looks to take it forward and goes out to Szoboszlai. Takes a touch inside and then goes inside to McAllister, who hooks it out to Kirkes. You've got Nunes defending really narrow, so Kirkes has got time and space out on that City right hand side. He goes forward to Gakpo, who is offside, and it will be a free kick to Manchester City. Yeah, he's just about offside. Marmoush now still getting held by Konate, but this time he can't keep control of the ball. Now it's McAllister. Inside to Wirtz. Now it's Gravenberch. Szoboszlai. Gravenberch again. Back to Szoboszlai. Now it's Konate. Van Dijk. Kirkes. McAllister again. Out wide to Szoboszlai. Then forward to Salah. He's advanced past Aït-Nouri and then plays it to Wirtz, who gets the cross in, and his cross is dealt with by Rodri. But then the clearance by Aït-Nouri is not great, but the shot by Szoboszlai straight at Donnarumma. It's pretty easy for the Italian to claim. Aït-Nouri, that is poor, and he heads it straight into the path of Salah, who plays it to Wirtz, who luckily can't get the ball under control, but he steals it off of Rodri, and now it's Ekitike, and it's just wide. That's poor defending from both Rodri and Aït-Nouri there, if I'm honest, and we've 100% been let off. Very, very poor defending. Szoboszlai. Now Gravenberch. Excuse me, man. Kirkes. Now Gakpo. Inside to Kirkes. He gets the cross off. And it goes all the way over to the other side to Szoboszlai, who crosses it in. It's taken off McAllister's toes. And Liverpool still have it here with Konate, who lofts the ball towards Ekitike, who lets it bounce, and it goes out to Kirkes. Now Gakpo inside to McAllister. Now it's Konate. Inside to Wirtz. Plays it outside to Szoboszlai and then back inside to Florian Wirtz. And now Szoboszlai. Gravenberch. Now Salah. He's able to pass it back to Wirtz, and it takes Gehi and Aït-Nouri out of the game, but it's cleared by Kusanov. Again, only as far as Szoboszlai, who then takes it back to Konate. Liverpool having a very extended spell of possession here. Wirtz crosses it in. Ekitike, Donnarumma just about gets there, and Núñez can take it forward. But then Kerkez wins the ball back, and he can look up and try get another cross in as he offside. Flags up for offside. Donnarumma is looking extremely bold from that angle. Is he offside? I don't know about that one, but Donnarumma just about deals with it anyway. Again, I've never ever been convinced about Donnarumma coming out to try claim the ball. It's always extremely dodgy. Gehi, he launches one forward towards Marmoush, but Konate gets there once again. And then he hits it off of O'Reilly for yet another Liverpool throw-in. Again, City have started second half extremely poor, second best. Am I shocked? No, because it just happens week in, week out at this point. Alisson. He hits it out wide to Szoboszlai, who takes it in his stride and tries to knock it past O'Reilly, but O'Reilly's able to win it back and then storm past the Hungarian and then tried to play it back inside to Rodri, but Szoboszlai is able to intercept, but then Aït-Nouri pounces on it and he plays it inside to Marmoush, who hits it back for Semenyo, and it's a save by Alisson. Then Alisson looks to start the counter-attack quickly as he heads it forward, but it's knocked down by Núñez, but only into the path of Salah. Now it's Ekitike who plays it out wide to Salah, who then goes for the Trivela cross, and Ekitike just about heads it wide. If he gets that on target, that's a goal, because Donnarumma's planted to the spot. Like, completely planted to the spot. It's a good cross from Salah. Really, really good cross from Salah. It's good play from front to back, really. From both sides. It was a good attack by City, and then it's a good counter by Liverpool. Both moves are sort of lacking just in that final action. I mean, Salah does really, really well. And it's a beautiful 1-2 between him and Ekitike, but Ekitike just can't guide the header into the bottom corner because, again, like I said, Donnarumma's rooted to the spot. He's not getting down to that. He's well and truly beaten. Ball finds itself back at Alisson's feet and he knocks it forward again. This time Gehi gets to it first, but once again Liverpool straight on the second ball with Szoboszlai. Now Wirtz. Gehi wins it back, but Rodri's now committed a foul in the middle of the pitch. And is he going to go into the book? No, Liverpool just take it quickly with McAllister. He goes out wide to Kerkez. Kerkez crosses it in, and it goes all the way through to Salah, and then Gakpo! And it's just about dealt with by Kusanov, but now the flag's up. But Kusanov's down, and he looks hurt. This is not good. This is really not good. We'll see the replay of that. So I'm not actually too sure what happened there. McAllister gets it, and then it's Kerkez. Gakpo is offside as the ball is chest down by McAllister, and Kusanov just whacked his head straight on Donnarumma's knee as he comes across to block it. Yeah, it's a beautiful cross by Salah, and Ekitike definitely does have to just do a tad bit better there. Kusanov fit to continue, or what's going on there as we approach the hour mark? Is he still down on the floor? We do have Diaz on the bench, which is always a good sign. And Kusanov is back up on his feet. Yeah, that... Ooh, on the close-up of that, that's... He's just got Donnarumma's knee straight in his eye socket. But he looks good. He looks calm. He looks... Give me a rundown on how this game's gone. Right, so Konate's basically gripped up Marmoush like 6 times and ragged him to the floor. Kusanov has just took Donnarumma's knee to the face, and both teams just don't know what they're doing in the final third. Basically, is like it's one of those games where it's extremely chaotic, so you can't actually really pinpoint and give an accurate rundown of what's going on. But just neither team. Like, we had a lot of control in the first half. Like, we were winning the ball back every single time we gave it away on the edge of their box. But again, typical City fashion, second half has not been good enough. It's the exact same thing that happened in the game against you, exact same thing that happened in the game against Spurs. We have all this control in the first half. We don't really exactly make the most of it. And then in the second half, we just can't get a footing in the game. Let the other team grow in confidence, build momentum, and then they either take the lead or they equalise. While I've been saying all that, there have been 2 substitutions. Kusanov has come off for Ruben Diaz on his return from injury after getting injured against Chelsea, and Marmoush has made way for Rayan Shirki. And there's been a foul committed there on Gravenberch, and it will be a free kick to City. But yeah, no, Liverpool have really struggled in the midfield, as to be expected. I mean, when you look at the 3 midfielders we've got on the pitch, who are always going to be very physical. I think Aït-Nouri's probably been City's best player. But again, we haven't done enough sort of in the final third. I mean, Haaland should have scored, Marmoush should have scored. Whether Marmoush was onside or offside for his chance, the ball should still be hitting the back of the net, and then you let the linesman and VAR make the decision of whether it's a goal or not. Like, that's what you do. When you're offside, you put the ball in the back of the net, and then you give VAR a decision to make whether it's a goal or not. Do you know? Play to the whistle. And then Haaland 100% should have scored within the first 2 minutes. Like, I'm not really too sure how he didn't score, and his poor run of form in front of goal continues. I think Kirkes is, for someone that I've been very critical of all season, I think Kirkes has actually played a good game. That's a good ball over the top. No, it's not. Never mind. And then Donnarumma sort of just comes to claim it. Nice Donnarumma. He launches it forward towards Haaland. It's dealt with by Van Dijk. Then Guéhi knocks it down to Rayan Aït-Nouri. He then goes to play it forward to O'Reilly, who's got Semenyo ahead of him, and he finds Antoine Semenyo, who's one-on-one with Alisson. And no, never mind, he's offside. Never mind. I was about to say. To be fair, you boys have been really poor in games against the Big Six this season. Yeah. No, yeah. Now I'm just trying to think. So we beat United. We beat United at home, lost to them away. I thought we actually played quite well at the Emirates against Arsenal. We were just unlucky to concede sort of late on. I think we were good against Liverpool at the Etihad. We were poor. We were good in the first half against you, but we were very poor in the second half, missing a lot of chances. We were poor in both games against Spurs. Sorry, I just thought Ruben Diaz just did a Vincent Kompany and just rifled that into the back of the net from there. We were good in the first half of the second game against Spurs. We had disaster in the home game against Spurs. The away game to Spurs, we had a good first half. Again, we just absolutely crumbled in the second half. Whether you believe that first Solanke goal should have stood or not is, again, completely up to you. But even so, we shouldn't have conceded the other one. Like, it's just poor all round. So yeah. And we were bad against Villa as well. We were poor against Newcastle in the league game. Obviously, we were good against them in both cup games, but we were poor against Newcastle in the league game. Obviously, they're our next league game after this. And then, we were poor at Villa Park. Vert shoots, and is that a huge block by Mark Gahey, because he had time and space to line that one up, and that's a terrific block. See that again. Gakpo motors forward. He gets it to Ekitike, just drops it back with a back heel to Wirtz, and that's an exceptional piece of defending by Mark Gahey. Yeah, I think Donnarumma has it covered regardless, but that's excellent defending by Gahey. Superb. The one thing we do kind of lack now with Diaz on the pitch instead of Kusanov is just that recovery pace that Kusanov just has in absolute abundance. It's going to be another corner to Liverpool. This one time it's headed out by Diaz. And as well, he's coming back from a hamstring injury as well, so he's going to be even slower than he once was, which I didn't even know was humanly possible. But yeah, no, as well, back to your point, Joe, we were poor against top six last season as well. We somehow did a double over you, which is quite funny. But we were poor in both games against Arsenal. We were poor in both games against Liverpool. We were poor in both games against United actually as well. Corner comes in, Haaland heads it clear. Now it's Wirtz, Kerkez, Gravenberch, Salah. He crosses it in. Once again dealt with by Gahey, and now it's O'Reilly. He's fouled by Van Dijk, who goes to protest his innocence to the referee, and does need to be careful because he's already booked. Although he is granted the courtesy of being able to chat to the referee as obviously Liverpool's captain. That is a crazy pass by Gahey to Bernardo Silva, and that's another crazy pass by Gahey to O'Reilly, and now it's Salah, who's isolated by O'Reilly, but the ball still finds its way to Gravenberch, and now it's Salah again. So Bosley, see, we need to get control of this game ASAP. That's a good switch out to Gakpo. Was pressed by Nunez, but is able to hold him off and goes back to Van Dijk, who goes out to Kanate. Finds Salah, now Szoboszlai. Wirtz, McAllister even, who's now brought down by Semenyo, and that's going to be a free kick to Liverpool. Again, second half City, man. Second half City. That's all I can say. That's literally the only thing I can say about this game. So Bosley on the free kick. Gakpo brings it down. Then goes to Gravenberch. Gravenberch shoots, and that one's always rising. It's going to be a goal kick. None of the three players I have bet on to get booked have been booked, so this is a poor showing on that front. It's Gahey. Now Donnarumma, who hoofs it forward. Van Dijk gets there first, knocks it down to Gravenberch, and now it's Szoboszlai, who cuts it back. He then glides past O'Reilly, and then he goes forward to Salah, who's been brought down by Gahey. And the referee is not interested originally. The referee's not originally interested in Salah's penalty call, but I think it will be reviewed by VAR. There will be a yellow card coming out now, and that is for Rodri, or is that for Gahey? So is this a foul? Or is it a foul and it's just outside the box? Oh, it is a foul, but it's just outside the box. Sorry. Nah, it's never a pen, bro. It's outside the box. So Bozlai's going to absolutely crash this right now. So Bozlai's about to absolutely crash this into the back of the net, but it's not a penalty, no. I mean, it's stupid defending. It's reckless defending from Gehi. I don't think Salah gets that ball if he lets it run. Yeah, free kick to Liverpool. I mean, I don't know why they keep slowing down the replay for it. He's quite clear. He's literally not in the box at any point. So just let him get on with a free kick. He's literally not. He doesn't enter the box once. So we don't need to be having all this discussion, Van Dijk. Just put the Szoboszlai free kick goal in the bag, all right, and we can move on. Put the Szoboszlai free kick goal in the bag. No, Szoboszlai, no. Szoboszlai, don't do this. Szoboszlai, don't do this, please. Please. Szoboszlai, please. Don't do this. Szoboszlai, don't do this, please. Donnarumma, bro, I need you on your A game. Oh wait, nah, he's gonna cross it. We're good, I think. I don't need this Szoboszlai free kick goal in my life right now. Him and his ridiculously low socks. Now, Joe, he's doing it again where his socks are... Szoboszlai's socks are absolutely non-existent. Oh wait, it's Salah on the free kick. Right. So Salah's gonna crash it in instead. That's all good. Because you've got Bernardo Silva and O'Reilly in the wall. Yeah. Never mind. That is a... that free kick from Salah's poor. That's a poor free kick. Yeah, no, that was dark. That was dark times. Dark times, man. Dark times. Dark times. But Mark Gehi has went into the book before Konate. So let's just, again, remember that. On a first-time offence as well. Unlike Konate, who's an absolute repeat offender. Van Dijk knocks it forward. Diaz gets there first. He just knocks it back to Donnarumma, who takes a decent touch, and then back out to Diaz. Diaz knocks it forward. Haaland leaves it, and then Konate gets there first. Or is Haaland offside? Haaland was deemed to be offside. Oh, it's Konate. He goes out wide to Szoboszlai, who once again is tackled by O'Reilly, but it goes out for a Liverpool throw-in. Here's Alisson. Puts that forward towards Gakpo. He brings it down nicely. I think we need to get Shirky on the ball more, man. Like I don't think I've seen him. Well, he has just touched the ball there, like briefly, but I haven't really seen him touch the ball at all in this game since he's come on. So Szoboszlai now, he knocks it out to Salah. He then crosses it in, and Donnarumma once again gets a hand to it, but this time it was actually a strong punch. Now it's Gravenberch, who goes to ground, and that's a free kick. And I can imagine Bernardo Silva is now going to find himself in the book. Oh man, just put the Szoboszlai free kick goal in the bag, please. Just stop, like, it doesn't need to be like this every single time, bro. Just, we know he's going to score the free kick. Just let him score the free kick and then we can move on, bro. Because I know this is going in. I know this is going in. I know this is going in. I'm telling you, this is it. Nah. Szoboszlai's about to score a free kick, bro. I can tell it's over, bro. It's so over. Szoboszlai on the free kick. He's got some swaz on that as well, to be fair. Nah, that's actually a disgraceful free kick. But, bro, what did I say, bro? What did I say? I read this game. I read this game at a level that nobody else reads this game at. Bro, because you know it's gonna happen, bro. I knew as soon as he stepped, bro. As soon as that free kick was given, bro, I knew he was just lashing that in. There's no point even arguing it, bro. There's no point even arguing it. Now someone needs to catch him on his shins, bro. Like, I'm not trying to insinuate or incite violence on anyone, but someone does need to catch him on his shins, respectfully. Nah, that's dark. That's dark. That's actually dark. That's so dark. That's under the bed levels of dark. Because now we can't even clear the ball. This is honking. Bro, I'm actually so, I'm just like, I don't even know what to say, man. That's actually, that's like, I don't even know what to, I don't even know what to say. I actually don't even know what to say. Like, he's hit that with so much swerve, bro. Like, I actually don't even know what to say about that. That's, bro, does anyone want to score quickly? Oh, bro, it's so over. It's so over. Mate, it's so over, bro. It's never been this over, bro. It has never ever before been this over. Bernardo Silva, like, actually just find some shame. Nah, let him hit that from there. Go on. Go on. No, this is actually pathetic. Second half City, once again, absolutely pathetic. Like, someone win the ball back. Nah. I've had enough, bro. I've actually had enough. That's a foul. Come on, that's a foul. Nah, I don't, nah, Joe, bro. Because originally that looks like it's going straight down the middle. Because if you watch the first, like, 3/4 of that free kick, that he looks like he's knuckleballed that straight down the middle. Like, if you actually watch the movement on that ball, he looks like he's just put that straight down Donnarumma's throat. Pause. But, like, Do you know what I mean? And then it just moves. It moves at like the last few seconds. Oh, this is so over. This is oh man. Second half City is top 5 worst things I've ever watched. Can we stop showing me this, please? No, yeah, the movement on that's disgraceful. Shirky, Nunes, Rodri, still Rodri, Nunes again. Originally goes to cross it, but then goes back to Diaz. Don't shoot Diaz, please, for the love of God. Shirky, Rodri, now out to Ain't Nori. Now inside to Shirky. He's took way too long on the ball. Way too long on the ball. Now goes forward to Salah. It's knocked down by Diaz, but it's recovered by Wirtz, who gets pressed high by Guéhi and Rodri and ends up seeing it back to Szoboszlai. Bernardo, Guéhi, Semenyo. Bro, I actually just can't believe what I'm watching anymore. It just gets worse and worse. Like, what is that? Like, Shirky, who should have started this game over Bernardo Silva, and the fact that Bernardo Silva is still on this pitch is quite something. Oh man, this is actually dark. Like, this second half performance is actually one of the worst things I've ever seen. Is that Bernardo Silva? Yeah. Am I shocked that he's ran straight into somebody? No, I am not. Bro, the thing is, right, I actually see people think that Bernardo Silva is still a net positive on this team. And every time I see that, I do think to myself, am I watching the same sport as everybody else? Because, like, you know, like, I'm prone to making mistakes, so I might actually just be watching completely different sport to everybody else. And if that's the case, then fair enough, I'll admit that I'm wrong. But I highly doubt that I am watching a different sport. I think me and everybody else that says this are watching the same sport. We just somehow are coming to very different conclusions on a very obvious subject. Like, here's Nunes. Bro, I actually don't think we've had a shot on goal in the second half. This is actually diabolical. I can't. Oh man, just end the game already, man. Yeah, that's actually crazy. Nunes, mate, you should actually be ducked a week's wages for that alone. Like, that's actually bonkers, bro. Now Wirtz, Guéhi again intercepts. And now Diaz has just lost the ball at his own feet. Now we got Nunes. Haaland. He's got Semenyo ahead of him. Play the ball, bro! Play the ball! Alright, now we've got... Okay, a bit too late, because now he's forced so far... Oh, man, I just don't want to watch this game anymore. I just don't... Like, can we end it? Like, fairs, Rodri. Fairs, man. Fair. Diaz, don't shoot. Alright, plays a nice pass out to Nori. Fair. You know what? He's recovered that one well. So I actually thought he was about to lash that one into Rosette. Rodri. Diaz, again looking like he's going to shoot. And all I can say to that is don't. Gehi. He launches one into towards Haaland. It's dealt with by Van Dijk. Now it's Nunez. Rodri. Shirky. He goes to launch one in. Haaland knocks it on! Bernardo Silva! I did not just shout Bernardo Silva's name. I did not. That's AI. No way. Bernardo Silva's just scored. Fucking everybody on this pitch. Bernardo Silva's just scored. Is he onside? I think he's just about onside. I think Szoboszlai plays on one side first. I'm so shameless. I'm so shameless. I'm the most shameless man on this planet. I just spent the last like 2 minutes saying how I think he's probably the worst player in the team. And he's just scored. In all seriousness, it's still 1-0 to Liverpool. Oh man, I don't even know what to say. Fairs, Donnarumma, please catch that for the love of God. And Cody Gakpo's just been replaced by Curtis Jones. In the heap of that, in the heap of all that chaos, Donnarumma hits it long. Van Dijk gets the better of Haaland. I'm not buying a kit with his name on the back. That's like negative aura. You've actually got to think of how much negative aura that is. Here's Rodri. Nunez. Bernardo Silva. Shirky. Rodri. That's a poor pass out wide to Nori. Now it's Gravenberch. He's tackled by Shirky. Then his pass forward to Wirtz. And then Gakpo latches onto it as an insane block by Gehi. Now Nunez. He hits it forward towards Haaland. Konate deals with it. Then Van Dijk, who knocks it down. Shirky gets onto it. His first touch is loose, and now it's Jones. And then Gravenberch is brought down by Bernardo Silva, but now it's Kirkez. He goes out wide to Ekitike. And now it's Curtis Jones. If Curtis Jones scores, I will turn the TV off though, by the way. That still stands. Szoboszlai lines one up to shoot. Blocked again by Gehi. Tell you what, he's had a good Konate, ooh. He's had a good second half as Gehi. Whew. Tell you what, that was stressful. That was something. That was something. We do not need to clip me shouting Bernardo Silva. We do not need that. No one needs that. We don't need to see that. No one needs that. That was AI. That was AI generated. AI generated clip. Fake news. Oh, Nori's got socks very similar to Szoboszlai's as well. No wonder he's on the floor 24/7. This is it's an interesting last 3 minutes of this game. If we somehow score at the end of this second half, this is going to be one of the biggest smash and grabs of a 45 minutes I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I just want to let that be known, because we have played some absolutely shameless football, but we're somehow drawing 1-1 whilst playing some of the worst football in the last 45 minutes. Shirky's fouled by Kirkez. Rodri. Diaz. Nunes. That's a very poor pass forward towards Haaland, and it's dealt with by Van Dijk. Now it's Kanate, Jones, Gravenberg, forward to Szoboszlai. He then whips in a cross. Salah heads it, and it's over. Coming into the final minute of additional time, and it's Liverpool 1, City 1. Donnarumma on the ball now. He goes to Gehi. Ain't Nori. He hits it forward towards Haaland. Once again, it's Van Dijk that gets there first. O'Reilly knocks it onto Nunes, who's upended by Jones. But then it's Shirky, who plays a switch out to Semenyo, who retrieves the ball inside the Liverpool box, but the cross is claimed by Alisson. Alisson plays a heavy pass forward, and it's only as far as Diaz, who can knock that forward to Rodri, and then his pass to Shirky's a little overhit, but it's Nunes that retrieves it. So it's still all good. Now it's Diaz. Gehi forward to Rodri, and now it's Ryan Ain't Nori. Rodri, Nunes, Shirky, Nunes again, still Nunes. 7 minutes of additional time still to play at Anfield. Liverpool 1, City 1. Nunes knocks it round Alisson and is then brought down. It probably is just going to be a goal kick, or is it a corner? He has given a corner. Liverpool fans don't seem to be too happy at that either. See that again. Nunes runs onto it. Yeah, just comes off of Alisson's forearm. Only just though. Corner to City. Nunes is still on the floor. This is going to be a stressful 6 minutes, bro. I can already tell this is going to be stress. Wait, is he giving a penalty? I thought it was a corner. Did he give a penalty? What? Bro, I thought he gave a corner. He gave a penalty. No way. Bro, that's to show us how, like, out of it I am. Come on, Erlen. I thought he gave a corner. I could have swore he gave a corner, but he gave a pen. That's what I get for. That's what I get for watching without. That's what I get for watching without commentary. We don't have a good penalty record at Anfield, and Haaland missed a penalty against Liverpool earlier in the season, and he's in bad run of form. Erling Haaland at Anfield against Alisson. Erling Haaland! Yes! Erling! Yes! I thought it was a corner. For the longest time I thought it was a corner, because I thought it came off of Alisson's forearm, but he gave the pen. fucking scored the pen as well. Get in! Excellent penalty. Haaland's booked for taking his shirt off, but I don't even care. Come on, lads, hang on now. Hang on. Yes. Absolutely beautiful penalty as well. Alisson goes the right way, but he just can't reach it. The clasp just came undone on my watch because of that, but we're all good. Come on, lads. 6 or so minutes just to hang on. Everyone behind the ball now for City. Kirkes comes off for Chiesa, headed away by Nunez. Now it's Szoboszlai. He goes out wide to Salah. Now Szoboszlai runs onto it. He dinks it into the box. It's knocked out chested out of the box by Nunez. Now it's Chiesa. He gets the cross, but it's claimed by Donnarumma. Ake's getting ready to come on for City. Ball long from Donnarumma for Haaland to chase. Szoboszlai looks like he's going to be able to bring this one down. He does. And he just about keeps it on and stops it going out for a City throw. Konate, Gravenberch. He's tackled by Semenyo, but it goes out of play for a City throw-in. City throw-in, Liverpool throw-in. Ake on for Semenyo. Nah, mate, I don't even know what's going on. I don't even. Mate, it's I'm trying to update the graphic, but I'm also trying to not take my eye off the football. Rodri. Szoboszlai. Haaland just mistimes his tackle, and Szoboszlai keeps the ball. He then goes for the switch out to Chiesa. Van Dijk's playing as a centre forward. That's hoisted out by Nunez, only as far as Florian Wirtz. Now it's Jones. He plays a ball through to Chiesa down the left-hand side for Liverpool. He then knocks it back to Jones, who knocks it to Gravenberch on the edge of the box, who then knocks it back to Szoboszlai. His cross is blocked by Rodri. The ball's then brought down by Rodri. And then it's knocked forward for Aït-Nouri to bring forward. It's a 3-on-1 briefly for City here. Aït-Nouri keeps going. Aït-Nouri keeps going. Aït-Nouri shoots and it's saved. And he should have squared it. Why did he not square it? Put the game to bed. Why has he not squared it? And now he's out of position as Liverpool come forward. Why has he not squared that, Aït-Nouri? That's a brilliant tackle by Shirky. But the original tackle by Bernardo Silva goes punished, and it will be a free kick to Liverpool. The original tackle on Wirtz will go as a foul, but that second tackle, although it means nothing, was brilliant by Shirky. That's Bernardo Silva in the book, once again before Konate. Cross comes in towards Ekitike, it's headed out by Ake. And then Konate gets there, keeps it alive. Van Dijk passes it back out to Gravenberch. He goes for the cross. Then that one's headed out by Nunez. Only as far as Szoboszlai. Now it's Gravenberch again. Around, I'd say, 3 minutes left for City to play here. Wirtz. And Chiesa. His cross is blocked by Nunez, and then it's cleared by Nunez. I think Liverpool fans are shouting for handball in there. Or Liverpool players are shouting for handball in there. You've got Alisson all the way up to take the throw. And then it's back to Alisson, who then slips, but ends up regaining his footing before Bernardo Silva can press him. Then it's lofted forward by Gravenberch. Wirtz shoots. It's deflected. What a save, Donnarumma! What a save! Now it's a corner to Liverpool. It was McAllister with the shot. It bounces up off Diaz. And what a save by Donnarumma. What a save. Corner to Liverpool. Alisson Becker is up for the corner. Corner comes in. Dealt with by Donnarumma. Only as far as Szoboszlai, who gets it out to Salah. Salah crosses it in. It's headed clear. Nori can just about get there and bring it down. No, so Chiesa. Bernardo Silva can't get there. It's headed clear. Salah. Someone get it out. Nori, just clear that. Just clear that. Hit that as far up the pitch as possible. 99 minutes on the clock. It's Szoboszlai, the furthest player back for Liverpool. Alisson still not back in his goal. Szoboszlai. He hits it forward in search of Alisson. Shirky. He just hits it forward. Haaland to chase. Haaland to chase. Szoboszlai goes to pull him. Yes! Shirky! Verts who? 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 Yes. Shirky off the bench, my boy. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. This save by Donnarumma is absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal save by Gianluigi Donnarumma. Now Bernardo Silva, Shirky on the touch. The shot from his own half. Haaland chases it. He's pulled down by Szoboszlai. So then Haaland rags Szoboszlai back so he can't clear the shot off the line. It just means more, man. It just means more. It's going to VAR. They are taking this to VAR. I'm not too sure what for. So it could be disallowed for Haaland fouling Szoboszlai, you know. This could be disallowed. But if anything, Szoboszlai commits the foul first. If anything, Szoboszlai commits the foul first. If anything. If we're being deadly serious, Szoboszlai fouls him first. He's going to disallow that, isn't he? He's going to disallow that. He's going to disallow that, isn't he? No, he hasn't. Who's been sent off? So Haaland's been sent off. So no, it's 2-1, but Szoboszlai's been sent off. What's going on? So the goal's been disallowed for a foul on Haaland, but Szoboszlai's been sent off. What's going on? I'm baffled. I don't know what's. I don't know what's happening. What am I watching? Bro, I don't know what's going on. I actually don't. I'm actually speechless of what's happening in the last 10 minutes of this game. I don't even know how long's left to play. There's been so many stoppages now in this game. I actually do not know how long is left to play. But it's a free kick to City. I don't know what's happening. Then Shirky just blasts it over and it's a goal kick. I don't know what's happening. Why have we even shot? We should have just took that shot. What's going on? How long left? Is he blowing the whistle? He's blowing the whistle. Right, so I don't know. I don't have any words. I need to regain my composure so I can record my match reaction to that. I don't know what's just happened. I can't. I don't. We just won at Anfield, which is a huge W. But I don't know what's just happened. So Bosley went from hero to zero. I don't know. But that's what you like to see. City win at Anfield in the Premier League with fans in the stadium as well. First win at Anfield since 2021. First win at Anfield with fans in the stadium since 2003. I don't know what's just happened. I don't even know what to say. I actually don't know what to say, man. But like, if that's not worth a like on the stream and a subscribe, if that's not worth a like on the stream and a subscribe, then I don't know what is. Because that, I don't know. But if you enjoyed the stream, like I said, please do like the stream and subscribe to the channel. I'll be live again for another watch along. Not next Saturday, but the Saturday after when we play Newcastle in the late kickoff. Again, I don't think there's really much else I really have to say on that one. So yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, thanks for coming out, and make sure you stay tuned for my match reaction to that game, because I'm stunned. I don't know what just happened.